Pet Life Radio.
This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, feline friends. This is Michelle Fern, your host on Cattitude. Now, if you love cats and you are anywhere online, you probably have heard of my next guests, and they are amazing. Can't wait to introduce you to them. We'll be right back. Hey, everyone. Michelle Fern here. You know, I have a crew of cats, and they all have their own distinct personality. You know, Dennis, as soon as I eat anything, it doesn't matter what it is, he's right by my side, even if he doesn't like it. And while it could be really cute, it sometimes is annoying. Then there's Charlotte. Well, Charlotte basically runs around and hides all the time. And then, of course, we have Molly. When I'm working, all of a sudden, the back of my chair, Molly flies on top of it and sits there. And it can be so distracting. All my crazy cat crew, those things I could live with. What I cannot stand is a stinky litter box. So I use Arm & Hammer Clump and Seal. It clumps tight around the odor and seals it in. So no more smelly litter box, no more smelly house. It destroys for 7 days. So I have a 7-day odor-free home, because a home with kitties and a litter box that doesn't stink is a happy home. Arm & Hammer, more power to you.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I am beyond thrilled. I know I always say this, but this time really, because not only are they hilarious, they are educational and they are informative and they just know so much about cats. I am so excited to have Jay and Adrian, the two crazy cat ladies on Cattitude. Welcome.
No, thank you so much for having us.
So, okay, we have both of you. So, let's see. So, Jay, give a shout out to all the cat people out there.
Woo! All right, guys. All the crazy cat ladies, stand up, raise your glass of wine, because that's what I'm doing right now, and take a sip.
Okay, and then Adrian, what's your drink of choice tonight?
You know what? I'm kind of a whiskey or beer girl, but tonight I am definitely enjoying a glass of wine as well. So,
okay.
You know what they
That's
say,
the way
cats
to
and
go.
wine, feline fine. That's right.
Okay. How did the two crazy cat ladies start for, some people out there that might not have heard about you? How did it start?
Okay, so we have been in the pet nutrition industry since 2005, and we were learning so much about the power of nutrition and how it can help diet, nutrition, things like that, and how it can help mainly dogs. Because in the pet world, especially in the pet health world, and when they say pets, they mainly mean dogs. They do all the research and everything about dogs. And we have always been cat parents, right? So while we love dogs as well, when in 2015, we branched off and we were like, let's become, because we couldn't find a good resource. We couldn't find a resource. It was very, very scarce online to find a resource that was feline only, that really focused on feline health. So we were like, let's branch off and start our own business, and started our own business as two crazy cat ladies, and just started diving deep into cats, specifically cat health, cat nutrition, how cats work, how their behavior works, and everything cats. Fell in love, and our motto is continue to learn, share, and grow every day. So we do our best to just keep learning and keep sharing that with all of our followers, so that as cat parents, we all have a resource and we can all grow together.
Okay, and I know you guys are cat parents, so how many cats are there?
Adrian, I'll let you take
five.
this one.
Five
Yes,
now?
we've got our beautiful babies. We've got 5 babies. We've got 4 boys and 1 little girl.
Okay, and who are they?
Okay, so oldest to youngest, they are Mr. Biddles. We found him under a stack of pallets back in Tennessee when we lived in Tennessee. He was just a tiny little boy, so he will always be our little baby Buddha bear. After him, we have our Oliver Twist. And he kind of adopted us. It's after we moved out to Las Vegas, he just wouldn't leave us alone. And so we succumbed to his absolute perfection. And he is a beautiful boy. So Mr. Biddles is 16, Mr. Twister is 15, and then we've got Pooh Bear, who was kind of a rescue. He is what we call him our challenge cat, our problem child. He had an autoimmune disease. He had a number of behavioral issues. So he's been a big teacher to us, and just a super beautiful, big, I think he's part Maine Coon. He's a big orange. We call him Mr. Tubby Rumble sometimes. He's just a beautiful big boy. And then 2 years ago, we adopted these two beautiful black kitties, and they are Zorro is the boy and Friday is the girl. And they are just bundles of energy and the most beautiful. We hadn't had kittens in 14 years when we got them. So it's a very exciting time for us.
Yeah, going back to the kitten stage after not having any kittens or ever, because my cat life started when Dennis adopted me. He just opened the door, I walked in, and there he was, and he just stayed. And he's part Maine Coon. And it's interesting listening to you when you said your problem child. I have one of those too, Charlotte. She doesn't like anybody except the husband. But otherwise, nobody. She hisses.
Well, that's good though.
Well, so at least she likes someone, right? Not the other cats, not the other dogs. I don't know. And then I've tried everything except you have something that I'm going to try, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So you guys, you are everywhere. You do such a good job for, online. You are on YouTube, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook. You have, this blog that's amazing with a ton of information. How do you do it all? I mean, how do you, and you come up with all these amazing ideas, and I'm thinking, oh, that is a great idea. Letting your cat get used to being outside, or is, how do you tell if you're, or but this one I like, I hope I remember correctly. Why are cat people better than dog people or something like that? So how do you come up with these ideas? And did I get it right? Did I miss something you're on that maybe that I didn't catch? Tell us all the platforms you are online.
Okay, so we are everywhere. So we write 3 blogs a week about cats and cat health. We have our website. We are on LinkedIn. We're on TikTok. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram, and we're on Facebook. I'd say Facebook and Instagram are our largest platforms.
And YouTube.
And TikTok. Oh, and YouTube. Yes, sorry. And YouTube as well. So, and each one of them has, obviously a different following, like every different platform. And this is why we find it so important. So as I was saying, Michelle, our motto is to learn, share, and grow. So we literally eat, breathe, and sleep cats. And so that's why we're able to do all the things that we do. And, we started small with we'll start doing a cat tip of the day on Facebook and Instagram. And then we were like, oh, well, you know what? People want a good DIY recipe, and we could put that on YouTube. And then it was like, oh, well, and we could also do some extra information for Instagram and TikTok. And so we just started, over the years, we've just started doing more and more. And each different people that are on TikTok are not on Facebook, right? So they're not going to get that information, the information that we have that we so desperately just want to share to help other cat parents. They're not going to get that if they're not on Facebook. So that's why we're all over the globe, is so that we can really reach people. And then we do videos. We go live every Sunday, every Monday, and every Wednesday on Facebook. And then on Wednesday, we do Facebook and Instagram. Wednesdays, we do Q&As. So people can submit their questions, ask us any questions about their cats. And then we go live on Instagram first and then Facebook next. And we answer all those questions. And then we're just all over the place because we want to make sure that we can get as much information out to everyone that may need it. And it's really interesting what we don't necessarily think that somebody might need that somebody ends up needing, right? It's like, for instance, like yesterday, Adrian was rushing out the door. Thursdays are her days. Today's Friday. So yesterday was Thursday. Those are her days to do the cat tip of the day. She was like, I'm just going to do it on, make sure that the screens are, we weren't like deep diving into some research of what can we learn to share. It was like, we need to let people know that, make sure, because our cat climbs the screen sometimes, make sure that your window screens are secure so that your cat can't get out accidentally.
You know what? That's really important. And how would you just pull that out of the air? Like, oh, let's make sure the screens are good, because that's one of the ways cats can get out. And if you're above one story, your cat could really get hurt.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, it's mainly because we have janky screens in our house. So we're always super careful about which windows we open until we get that screen repaired. So it's actually an issue that we deal with.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of our cat tips are, is something that, we've dealt with. And then when we see something, like recently we just started leash training our kittens. So now we're doing cat tips and showing people how you can safely let your cat outside on a leash or in a catio or things like that, because that's what we're doing right now. So we're literally we're always growing with our cats, and then we're growing by the stuff that we're learning, we're sharing with that. We're sharing that with our followers.
Okay, so, and you, like you mentioned, you have a schedule, you're live, you're all on these different places, but your website, does that have anywhere, where can people find out where you are, what you're doing on different days? Do you have a list someplace?
We don't.
That's a great idea.
Oh, I can't believe I added something to you guys, because you guys are like the masters of cat. But, because I'm listening and I'm thinking, wow, I'd love to see them. Can I remember this? And if I write, it makes noise, so my producer has to cut it out. So I'm not writing at the same time. But I got that you're live and all this stuff. But I know that you're in a different platform, your blog, which is amazing and has a lot of great remedies. And we're going to talk about that right after the break. But yeah, that would be awesome to know, because I would love to see you guys live. Your YouTube is great too. For anyone who hasn't seen it, not only informative, but you guys are hilarious. It's just clicks. It's just great.
Well, if you like the YouTube, then you should definitely join some of our lives, because we're all about wine and cats. So all of our lives, we have a glass of wine. Sometimes I have 2 or 3, depending on how long it goes and how much we're talking. And I'm not going to lie, there are times that Jay gets a little tipsy on the lives and still tries to talk about cats.
You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to have my wine and join you guys and on the live for sure. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about some of the things on your website that are just beyond, they're just fabulous. We'll be right back.
My dog, Mojo, was half beagle and half coonhound. He ate everything in sight. He would swallow things whole, including a chicken carcass, a bird nest with a bird in it, and assorted stones and sticks. We had to take him to the veterinary emergency room. After surgery, Mojo had skin issues. He was constantly itching and scratching, chewing on his feet, and chewing the hair right off of his legs, being irritated, lethargic, and just not the same dog.
DINOVITE.com.
When we put him on the Dinovite, he took right to it. All of these symptoms disappeared.
Dinovite is nutrition.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Something that he actually likes to eat. You need to put him on Dinovite. Dinovite for life. If you love your dog, you don't just want him healthy, you want him to be happy.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking to Jay and Adrian of Two Crazy Cat Ladies, and they are amazingly knowledgeable about everything cat. And your website I found to be just so comprehensive. There's so much information on there. You have your blog and which are tips, and I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, most people on a blog will have like one written, and then there's like 5 weeks later they have another thing written. No, you guys have like almost every day there's a tip or some information. There's a lot of pages. There's a lot of, just a lot of info. Then past that, you have information with different solutions for different ailments and a lot of different solutions for ailments. I counted 36, unless my page was not going right. And things I've never heard of, like I didn't know cats could get acne.
Oh, yeah. It's actually a pretty common thing that we deal with.
And that just to speak to that point, like one of the main things and one of the things that we've learned and we've shared is that plastic water bowls a lot of times will be the cause of chin acne. And I remember using Tupperware 15, 20 years ago as our baby's water dish. Like there's things that, you know, like I think it's Maya Angelou that says, once we know better, we do better. So it's so exciting when we learn things to be able to share it with everybody. And chin acne is one of those things where, like, oh, well, that's what that is. It's exciting.
How do you know if they have acne if there's fur over it?
So it actually appears kind of like little pimples. So you'll see, and it will itch them. It'll itch them. So they'll start oftentimes scratching their chin or rubbing their chin up against things. And when you look closely, you'll see where it looks like little pimples. Now on different cats, it looks a little different. It's usually like red, a little bit inflamed. Sometimes it's black. Oftentimes it's black too. It depends on, you know, the certain cat, but it will look like pimples on their chin. And it can actually go to other areas of the body, but the majority of cats, when they get acne, it is, and they call it feline acne, and it's, we call it chin acne. So it's a bacterial infection for the most part. And some cats battle with it. Like my sister's cat battles with it on and off all the time. And it's not the plastic bowl. Other cats, many cats, you can simply change the bowl into, you know, a glass or ceramic or something not plastic, because plastic is a bacteria buildup, right? I mean, it's where bacteria can really build. So if you just switch the bowl, the water bowl or the food bowl, oftentimes that alone will take away the problem.
Who knew? And as you were talking about it, people might think, oh, cat acne, who cares? My cat has a pimple. But it can get infected, and it's a hair follicle, and that can grow into an infection too. It can do it on people, even more so, I'm sure, on cats. And that's...
Oh, absolutely.
Who needs that? So I want to talk about, and, you know, we're not really like a product-y type show, but you guys have created a great line of naturopathy products that cover so many different ailments. So tell us about that, how that came about and some of the things your products do.
Well, it's really interesting. So we were, in our last company, we were working with a holistic animal scientist to create all natural products for animals, right? And he works with all types of animals. He works with cows and horses and chickens and goats and dogs. And what we found out when we branched off and contacted him, we were like, do you have anything that would like be great? I mean, I know many of the products that we carried in the last one would work, you know, for cats and kind of, but just not in the same way. Is there anything that you have specifically for cats? And he was like, I'm so glad you asked me that, because I have rescued over 100 cats. And I have created specific things to help their specific ailments that they've had along the years. And I would love to share that with you guys. So he lives in Oklahoma. He's a holistic animal scientist. He is a brilliant man. And so he's the one that formulates an all-natural product line, a holistic product line that helps to treat and prevent many, if not most, of the common ailments that our cats deal with on a regular basis.
Okay, and just to talk about a few, some of the things, if you have cats, you probably have dealt with this, like ear mites. That's a big thing. And just ear dirt, because they're on the ground a lot, you know, and worms and digestive issues. Fleas, hairballs, and it looks like some of your products are a little bit crossover, so they can do more than one thing, or maybe
Yes.
Yes?
No, you're 100% right. So, we could, and this would be a bigger money maker. I get it. We could have one product that has, that we put in different bottles and put a different label of, you need this for arthritis, and you need this for chin acne, and you need this for diabetes, and you need this for whatever. But one product helps so many different things. So instead of selling somebody the same product, but in different bottles, and so I'm going to give this for arthritis and this for whatever, we're just like, okay, look, here's what you need for this specific issue. And that's why we try to stay as available as possible to everybody, because we always get the questions of what will help this or that. And sometimes it's not our product. Sometimes it's like, you know what, let's do some confidence building sessions with your cat. Let's do, let's do something at home that you don't necessarily need. Hey, you could use a little bit of coconut oil. You don't necessarily need to buy a product, because we want to be very honest and we want to meet people exactly where they're at. So yeah, we have many products that work for many things. The two most popular products are Catalyst and our OxyCat are super versatile. So they work with a lot of different things.
OxyCat and what's the other one?
And Catalyst. And we call it Catalyst because it's the catalyst to like health, right? Because we're like, wow, this works for a lot of different things, everything from arthritis to diabetes to SIV. It works for a lot of different things.
Well, and to speak to why, though, I mean, I think that we look at a lot of what our cats go through in their processed diets that a lot of cats consume. And for example, Catalyst is one of our favorite products because it has metabolic, digestive enzymes, antioxidants in it. It is something that really helps fill the gap in a lot of ways. I mean, if anyone's ever reached out to us, you guys know that one of our biggest passions is feeding our babies a good diet. I mean, what we eat is such a foundation for our health, what we eat and what we feed our babies as well. So it's exciting when we can help certain situations by helping to fill those gaps of natural things that our babies need, because it's amazing the body's ability to help heal itself when it's given those things that it requires.
Exactly.
Well, that's great. I was shocked when I saw how many different ailments that you have listed as well, because that is such a huge benefit and relief to so many cat parents that are searching for something and, find you guys and go, oh my gosh, they have, something for arthritis, something for bone issues, something for, if my cat has asthma or is it a hairball or something. You have a huge just listing of different types of ailments. How did that come about when you wrote that? There's a lot. Most places I've seen, they'll have 6 different things listed. If your cat, pukes up its food and eats too fast, or if your cat has ear mites, or if your cat, has joint issues, maybe 4 or 5 things, but you have a ton. Did that come about just from your own kitties, from your learnings? Where did that list come from? That's so comprehensive.
Yeah, well, so, it really came from, some of it was trial and error. A lot of it, our cats and us ourselves, our products are all human grade. So we take our products ourselves as well. So a lot of it was, testing out on our cats. When we first started the business, we had a cat that was 18 years old and he was really starting to slow down. And we wanted to kind of boost him up. And so we started giving him the Catalyst, and we realized that his arthritis went away. I mean, we knew that this was likely going to happen, but we didn't realize that he was going to go from, slowly, barely getting up the stairs to jumping from the refrigerator to the counters and from counter to counter, right? So we learn a lot from our cats specifically, but then there's lots of our customers or followers that have contacted us and said, hey, do you have anything for my cat has, for instance, feline hyperesthesia? Like people don't know what feline hyperesthesia is. Now we're like the number one go-to for it because we worked with a couple people that were like, well, let's try out some of the products and let's see if this helps. And it turns out that it really, really does. So we do a lot of research too. I'm like kind of the geeky one. I want to do like some deep dive research into what this is and how it works, and then see if any of the products that we have might be able to help those specific things. But yeah, it's been trial and error, but every single one of those on our cat symptom checker we've dealt with, and most of them multiple times, hundreds of times.
Well, I want to thank you guys because you have done amazing things for all of the cat pet parents out there and for future ones that need to find out about you guys to help their kitties, because you're a wealth of knowledge. And I think out of the 100+ shows I've done on Cattitude and even more on my other show, I've never seen a site that had, or I've never spoken to anyone. I've done over 300 interviews with so much great information and just so passionate about what you do. I mean, you guys are just amazing. And I don't know, meow. I don't know what do you say, But you have.
Can I give a shout out though? Well, I wanted to give a shout out to all the cat parents out there. Like Jay was mentioning earlier, on all the different social media platforms that we're on, each one kind of has a different personality. But one thing that each one has in common is this beautiful community that we have as cat people. And I just we both feel so blessed to be a part of it. We did this because we were looking for that resource when we needed it and we couldn't find it, and we wanted so badly. We are super passionate about trying to be that resource for people. And so much of what you see is because we are always digging and finding new people and new passions that are really helpful for our babies, for our cats. So a huge shout out to the community on each platform. They're just amazing people, and it's the most rewarding experience. It really, really is.
It really honestly is.
That's a great way to say it because, cat people are different. I was a dog person growing up, and then I became a cat parent when a cat adopted me. And cats are way different. It's just different. I don't know how to say
so
it,
special.
It's different. And yes, and you generally end up, you don't have one. Your group grows. I have a group of 6 now, which is a little. I never thought I'd have 6 cats.
I love it.
Well, 3 are outdoor because 2 of the outdoors were like community cats, and 2 are boyfriend and girlfriend. And I would bring the dude would come in, but not the girl. She just would not do well in stores, and you can't separate them. So. But they have a house, they have flea treatment, they've been fixed, they've fed, they have everything. I mean, they have a heating pad, not that you need it in South Florida, but hey, when it hits, 40 degrees, they need their special cat heating pad, so they're taken care of. And then, then we have Jazz who comes by in the morning that I'm not sure if he's owned or not because he has a little tinkling bell. But then, my indoor crew, which found me, and some are the 2 are these children of the mama and papa that are outside that are now fixed. So we don't have no more babies running around. That's another thing I'm passionate about, adopt and don't shop. Yeah. And just let's eliminate euthanizing. Yeah. Yes. Just there's I just did a show on feeder breeders. I never knew about that term before. And that's a whole other thing though. But anyway, I know you guys have some more exciting things that you're doing tonight, so I don't want to take too much of your time. But I want to let everybody know. So your website is twocrazycatladies.com, and people can go there.
Yes, that's TWO crazycatladies.com.
Okay, and people can go there and find out your other platforms, all of your information, all of your great naturopathy products, and also maybe find out more about when you're live and all of that at some point, and a lot of other great information.
And they can contact us whenever. Contact us anytime.
Okay. Jay and Adrian, I wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to come on Cattitude and share all of your great information with our fabulous audience and all the cat people out there. So thank you so much for coming on Cattitude and for all you do for the cat universe, as I want to say.
Oh, thank you so much for having us, Michelle. And a huge shout out to all cat lovers everywhere. It's just the best thing in the world. Thank you so much for having us.
Okay, that was probably one of my favorite shows of all time because the 2 crazy cat ladies, Jay and Adrienne, are such a wealth of knowledge. If you have not gone to their website, check it out, twocrazycatladies.com. There is so much information there for you, and their naturopathy products are fabulous. I read a lot of reviews, and I am really looking forward to trying some on Miss Charlotte because she doesn't like me, so I'm trying to try my best. But I want to give a huge thank you to Jay and Adrienne, 2 crazy cat ladies, for coming on Cattitude. Thanks to my cat crew that make me a crazy cat lady too. I'm proud to be a member of that club. So thanks to Dennis and Charlotte and Molly and Jethro and Sammy and Jazz. And a huge thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guests sound amazing. And of course, huge thank you to my Cattitude audience. Thanks for listening. Thanks for making Cattitude such a popular show. And thanks for sharing all of the information that you find with Cattitude to other people in other places. I've gotten emails from as far as Australia, and it's just wild that Cattitude is heard all over the world and how many people we reach. So thank you so much for listening to Cattitude. Now keep listening. You never know what's going to be coming up.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.